So we just gonna go, right? So I'm just sitting here contemplating, just thinking, trying to get myself together in so many ways because it never changes. Like life is obstacles. We all had to overcome, right? So, and overcoming them obstacles, I look at it like, what decisions do we make? Is it a real life decision that we're making, which is, a fact in a real life decision? It doesn't have anything to do with your personal opinion. I mean, sometimes we get hurt maybe if people aren't listening to us, or we feel as though they're not. Like they're not paying attention to our personal opinions and needs to be heard, right? But some things are just what they are. Like it is what it is. It's a fact. That's just the sky. If you're colorblind, people have been noticing the sky has been blue for years, right? So I look at it as like the lives we lead, right? That's the point that I'm here for, right? In real life decisions, like the life that we lead. What are the lives of the people around you? How do they lead their lives? Not saying that you have to pry, but if you have a friend or a family member and y'all constantly in contact with each other, then why not, pay attention to the life? It might be something that you can help the person with. Most likely that's the purpose of you being around them, because whether it's a family or a friend, people are a resource. So what decisions are you making for yourself and around others, right? So the good that we do, what's in your heart? Are you doing it from your heart? Because sometimes, like, you could see a homeless individual, unfortunate individual on the street with a sign, and your first thought isn't, oh, because he's down bad, I'm just going to give it to him. It's the thought that came from the heart that just hit you and impacted you, seeing the person in that situation. It wasn't, why he got kicked out the house, why he's not working, whatever. It just was something in your heart that made you make that real life decision. So you gave him whatever you felt as though he was entitled to at that moment, whatever you might could give him, because it's entitlement, because you're giving something to someone and you don't have to. It's in your heart and entitlement there to say, okay, well, I feel like I should do this for this person because it hit me. It was a decision that I can only make from my heart, because it wasn't a thought like, okay, what if I was really in this position? The first thing hit your heart was like, okay, yeah, I feel this. I'm going to give something up. I feel like I'm going to give something up. So does it come from the heart? Whatever it is you do, it don't have to be that circumstance. The real life decision that you make doesn't even have to just be life altering. It just builds you at all times. You build from that real life decision. Instead of saying, okay, I'm going to go on a diet, make a real life decision and say, am I really going to go on this diet? We don't want to meet failure within ourselves, because if you love yourself, you're just going to have to keep picking yourself up, right? So instead of failing, because we will, at something, we'll pick ourselves up and do better at it and conquer it. However far we want to take the goal, or, whatever we see for our lives, we can conquer that. But you may fail more than once, more than twice. But what you do with that failure determines your real life decision. So if you're going to go into it all the way with your real life decision. Even in selling drugs, I came from that background. Even in selling drugs, if you feel as though is nobody going to tell you nothing, and I'm not going to tell you to do nothing. If somebody say, hey man, it's wrong, this, that, and the third, that's, the decision you made. That's something that you living with. But once you get into, say somebody comes and say, I got a job for you right now. It's not hard work, brother. I send you out. I know you be out here. It could be a friend that know you or whoever. And they hook you up with a job, because they know your work ethic got build up. So they give you a situation you could really build from, right? Are you going to take that pride, put it aside? And because you got to pay taxes and build towards the system, even if you don't want to, even if it's a loophole around it, saying you just coming from the street, you just coming from the bottom. This is an opportunity. McDonald's is an opportunity. Burger King is an opportunity. It's all what you can take, what you want to do. But somebody come, you'll have to make the decision, am I going to stay out here on the street and do this when all the risks, you can be making all the money in the world, but at the end of the day, to build business is college, business degree, or, at least getting around people that's making real life decisions towards a positive note. They can be whoever they are, doing whatever they do. But a real life decision is something positive that you can build from, that you can put others on. Others can grow. You can have your personal vices and everything. Long as it's not bringing you down and other people around you, it would just be passing judgment. We know what hurt us. We know if you got a serious drug habit, make a real life decision to stop. Because if you sit back and you look at people things and you think about taking them or something like that because of your habit, or it may impact friendships, family members, keep saying something about your habit, sit back and look at yourself. Because it might not be somebody just trying to put you down, somebody trying to help you transition into making a real life decision. Because drugs start off fun. No matter who do them, the harder they get, the longer it takes, or the more your body tolerates. And you have to use more. And when you use more, you go above and beyond with the harder drugs, or maybe any drug. You smoke weed, fall asleep, and can't get up for work in the morning, to be lazy at your job. If you know it's not for you, or you getting to a point, if you know yourself, or as a human being, a man or woman, you know yourself, you can make a real life decision. Man, is drinking doing this to me. Man, is smoking doing this to me. If you're not doing it, you can't really complain to people all this going on, that's going on. Because they know the real life decision you had to make, especially the people that continuously motivate you and uplift you. And you can see in their life, that's the type of time they on too. Real life decisions. So, are you doing things from the heart? Is a real life decision. Are you living life from your inner being? Are you doing things? Do you know who you are first and foremost? And if you need help with that too, this is something else brothers can get help with, or sit back and talk and put your pride aside so we can get out of this rock mess and try to put our best foot forward and make a difference. It's a whole lot of topics we can get on. So what about the bad things we do? You feel me? The things we do, that's also a real life decision. All of them aren't just positive as well, because say, something happened in a negative aspect and you got to save yourself. Survival. You had to make a real life decision to save yourself without putting others in harm's way. But even if somebody did, it's a real life decision for you. When you are a product of your environment, they say, but you're a product of you first. When you grow and you get your fear and you start to know yourself and you get your love, your glory, your positive, and you know how to put everything out the way you want to, paying your bills, taking care of your kids, responsibilities and everything, it's not much people can tell you. But it's another side where as though you want to get to that point, you want to be that person. You make a bad decision that may cause 15 years of your life behind prison, quite possibly, or a real life decision to take a lesser charge. Not telling on nobody or doing nothing like that, but some people say take it to trial, take it, real life decision. I'm making for me. and what's best for me. If it's not hurting nobody else, it has to be a real life decision made. So that's where we at with it. And it's so many topics we're going to get on with the real life decisions and just life in general. Just, things going on in the news, things that happen on World Star, or just giving you news feeds, feedback. But I just wanted to touch bases with the real life decision family, and I'll be back soon. But just think about it. Whatever's best for you. Because you got to love you first. If you don't love you, you're not going to sit down with scripture too tough and really no love for God, because God going to tell you got to love yourself in scripture, or a messenger or a prophet going to preach that love for you. Once you love you and you start making real life decisions for yourself, the world just opens up. That's the first and foremost. Like how I'm sitting down, I got no music, I don't have to smoke, I just want to talk to the real life family. If you want to make a real life decision, just sit, think. You don't have to have no music on, you don't have to be high, even if you do it, and it help you think about it. There's nothing wrong with that as far as your grass, your 420 or whatever, but if you can, with your sober mind, just sitting, think. It's quiet. After a while, you're not going to listen to the floor creak or what's outside. Think just in your head, to how much good did I do today and how much bad did I do today? And if you can, write it down. We can write it down together. If people, tune in and view, and you be like, man, listen, what you do wrong today? What you do right today? And the real life decision to put that out there to y'all is to get better. Because I do a lot of things I need to get right with. We can get right together. We can joke about it together. As long as we ain't putting each other down, to a point we heard about it or anything. Just we can uplift each other. It ain't even about no Black Lives Matter neither. It's a real life decision to love your skin, period. When you wake up and you see your skin, I'm saying that because some people don't love themselves. Some people don't look at themselves and love themselves. So that's their decision and their reality. But reality is you should love yourself. Anything straightforward, positive, can't go wrong. Not your version of positive. Do research, knowledge on what makes people feel the right way and you feel the right way, underneath also what God says, and we can get through this together and get better together. Real life decisions. Amir God here for real, signing off. Shouts out to my brother Bravo. That's a real good brother. Go tune into him first and foremost. And you might see us together. So y'all have a blessed day. Never real life decision to make this video.